On September 26, 2021, the vehicle under pursuit initially caught police attention only for speeding. However, when the highway patrol approached, the driver continued to accelerate, repeatedly switching between the freeway and surface streets, making the situation increasingly dangerous.
That was an aggressive pit maneuver there by the CHP. They wanted to bring this one to a close. For a minute there, they had stopped following the vehicle. It was kind of in a tracking mode. And then you saw CHP come up on this vehicle and right there bring this to an end. Alex, that was quite aggressive there.
That was aggressive. They were essentially saying, nope, you're not getting back on this freeway. You wonder about the condition of this driver. Now it looks like getting out of the vehicle. We'll see if he puts his hands up. It looks like he is and is complying. We don't know if there's anybody else in that vehicle. You see the wheel is still spinning. That car got really bad damage there. That was one of the more aggressive pit maneuvers we've seen in some time, but it was effective in ending this pursuit.
You almost have to wonder what CHP might know, perhaps, that we don't know about, why they were chasing this driver, that they said, we're bringing this to an end. It was on the freeways from Santa Clarita, the 5, the 405, then on surface streets, and attempting again here to get off the freeway, perhaps back onto surface streets or in the different direction on the freeway. But right there, that suspect complying after that aggressive end to that pursuit there.
So the procedure now, they will get this person on the ground.
At first, the suspect appeared to cooperate, hands raised, backing toward the police vehicle. But suddenly, just as he was about to be handcuffed, he changed his demeanor and resisted, leading to a scuffle with 2 officers. Fortunately, backup units arrived in time and subdued the suspect.
And now, oh no! And now it looks like a fight has broken out.
And you have those 2 officers there. You wonder if there is backup nearby. Okay, this is where you see the tough job that law enforcement has each and every day here, trying to bring what seemed like somebody complying and then suddenly not complying. And as I said, Alex, as we wondered what they might know about this suspect that we don't know. I mean, when have you seen a suspect so close to being into custody there, acting like they're complying, change course there?
Right. So this is at Rocky Peak Fire Road, if you're familiar with the area.
After successfully subduing the suspect, police handcuffed him and inspected the vehicle to ensure there were no hidden passengers inside. On July 26, 2022, police were in pursuit of a suspect who had carjacked a construction truck. The chase grew intense as nearly a dozen patrol vehicles and a Bearcat armored vehicle created a breathtaking scene on the highway.
Of the work truck, the driver jumping out of the driver's side, squeezing between the K-rail there.
And then a new chase was on as that driver tried to escape on foot. It all began with the pursuit of a stolen vehicle. Police say the driver crashed the stolen vehicle, quickly dumping it and then carjacking this work truck. And even with a flat rear tire and the towed trailer throwing off a shower of sparks, the driver just kept going. That's when pursuing officers called in reinforcements.
Look at this. Look at this. Well, this I have never seen. It is a Bearcat.
That heavy armored vehicle moving into position as CHP officers work to shut down traffic on both sides of the 10 freeway in Pomona. And that's when the Bearcat makes its move.
I wonder, here comes the Bearcat. Well, look at this. The Bearcat coming right alongside the passenger side of the work truck. The driver jumping out of the driver's side, squeezing between the K-rail there.
That driver carrying a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other as he runs across the empty eastbound lanes of the 10 freeway.
Well, if he's on the phone, you can see that night sun. Look at this. Cars dodging out of the way, and he's
When the vehicle was stopped, the suspect suddenly jumped out from the driver's side door, running across the empty lanes of the freeway with a gun in one hand and a phone in the other. He attempted to block another vehicle to continue his escape. However, right after leaping over the median, the suspect was taken down by a K9 police dog.
Well, that's either going to be CHP's finest or Pomona PD, but in any event, a K9 dog now on the suspect, bringing this dramatic pursuit to an end.
Officers quickly moved in, handcuffed the suspect, and transported him for medical treatment. The gun was not initially found at the scene. The dramatic chase officially came to an end.
The sound wall, spotting that tossed weapon next to the garage of a nearby home. The pursuit driver under arrest and now facing many serious charges.
On May 13, 2021, on a highway, a driver drew police attention for driving too slowly in the HOV lane, a lane reserved for vehicles carrying multiple passengers. When CHP officers approached to investigate, the driver suddenly sped away, triggering a high-speed pursuit.
Here it goes. It's going to tap the end of that, back into that truck. probably looking at what's ahead. Want to make sure when he does it, very nice, but not quite enough to get the vehicle completely spin and then get another car wedged in front of him. Now, doing that and not getting it done the first time could make the suspect drive at a higher rate of speed. Trying it again, a little better, perfect. Nobody on the shoulder, another patrol car runs up towards the front of the vehicle, stops it from being able to continue on. And right now what you're going to do is have a standoff. Now, these things get dicey right here. They don't know if the suspect's armed. We're on San Vicente Boulevard at Highland Avenue. Suspect not getting out of the vehicle at this point. You can see two patrol cars in front of him, their doors open, their guns drawn. They're not sure exactly what they're dealing with here. All we know that the suspect was really wanted for was impeding traffic in the carpool lane in South LA, meaning driving well below the speed limit and slowing traffic. At this point, we'll see if the suspect does decide to give himself up, but right now that does not appear the case. He may have just thrown something out of the window. It's hard to say exactly what just happened there, but officers have a standoff now here on San Vicente Boulevard. As far as traffic is concerned, there's a pretty good detour around this. You see the suspect reaching over now, grabbing that towel, that sheet, whatever that was. We can sort of see inside the cabin. The real concern in a situation like this is does that suspect have a weapon? And these things get very touchy. He lit up a cigarette, seems to be content to just sit back and relax and see how this is going to play out. Authorities, the officers here, they just do not know if he could possibly have a weapon inside that vehicle, and that's why you're seeing the standoff. And it gets touchy if the suspect does do something like reach for a weapon or come out of that vehicle and point something at officers. That can be tough. Now, the suspect is trying to back up, and the other patrol car did not block him. A little interesting why they didn't take that opportunity to put a patrol car behind him.
CHP officers repeatedly closed in and attempted 2 PIT maneuvers, but both failed as the suspect's vehicle held the road and continued speeding away. The tension reached its peak.
And the suspect was able to back up, turn around, and continue on. And Che Eckstein is with me, always helping me down there. It looks like to him the front right is wobbling a little bit. I sort of see that as well. And that could have happened when the vehicle slipped sideways when they did the pit maneuver. A lot of pressure on that tire and on that rim. It looks like they're going to do the pit maneuver again here. There you go, here it goes. And once again, not quite hard enough, but you do see that right front wheel. It does look a little off. And now it looks like they're going to wedge him in. So we're going to try and get to the other side here so that we can get a better look. But it looks like they've taken the opportunity now to wedge him in. And I don't believe he'll be able to continue on in this pursuit. Now come around and get over here. Just make a left turn. You're clear right here. I need to go that way. I see him, but...
When officers decided to execute the third PIT maneuver, the strong impact caused the suspect's vehicle to flip over on the freeway, creating a scene that was both dramatic and dangerous.
We lost him behind the tree there for a moment, and it looked like that doing that pit maneuver, it was enough to make the vehicle overturn. The suspect is still inside the vehicle. Now they're going to have to get him medical attention. I don't see an ambulance here quite yet. It looks like they're breaking the window open so they can at least see if he has a weapon and if they can get him out of the vehicle. So they have drug him out of the vehicle now.
After the car flipped over, police quickly approached, subdued the suspect, and safely removed them from the vehicle. Fortunately, no serious injuries were reported. The incident serves as a reminder that, in any situation, obeying traffic laws and following police instructions not only protects yourself, but also ensures the safety of everyone on the road.
Taking 4 officers there to pin him down and get his hands behind his back. You know, fortunately, no one was injured that we know of in this incident. They did the third pit maneuver, if you will. The second one was somewhat effective. The first one, not at all. The third one was effective in as much as it flipped the vehicle over. And the suspect now is in custody. So San Vicente is going to be shut down here at Redondo for some time, at least for westbound travel. Eastbound travel is going to be fine. It appears the suspect is okay right now. They're first going to make sure he doesn't have a weapon. Doesn't appear to be injured in that crash. He's standing up, and it looks like they're going to take him to a patrol car and take the suspect into custody here. And this is all over without incident. So no one was injured. San Vicente westbound once again, and Redondo will be shut down for a while. Eastbound travel is open. And fortunately, even though that vehicle overturned, it didn't hit another car, and we don't believe that anyone was injured. So it's all over here with the suspect in custody.